Guys, today we're going into the exhibition on the slave trade at Juffereh. Hi, fine, thank you.
Okay, so he will tell you everything about this place.
Okay.
So, Madam, you are welcome once again
Okay.
to Juffreh Albreda complex.
Okay.
And this is also the home of fruits.
Right.
This is the ancestral home of Kunta Kinte.
Okay.
This is also where the book and the television series were being made. 85% of the series was made here.
Okay.
So also we are the most affected one if you talk about slavery in the Gambia, because this is where you can have the properties, and these properties illustrate all the main periods and various stages of the African-European encounter, from its propagation to its conclusion.
Right.
So the Atlantic slave trade basically is what we will be talking about.
Okay.
And also this trade is also said to be the largest forced migration of people from one continent to another.
Right.
So
and I'm part of that.
You are part of that.
Ancestry.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So this trade also lasted for several years, several centuries, about 400 years. It involves several colonial powers, let's say 10 colonial powers and numerous local legislatures.
Right.
So the trade was accepted by both sides, both the Africans and the Europeans. So that's why also it's so profitable to the people who were taking part, and then this is why it takes a long time.
Right.
Yeah, so also it has made so many impact in Africa. Because first the population was drained. Also it caused a lot of displacement of people.
Right.
Yeah, of course some people came back, but some were not able to come back because they lost their identities.
Right.
So at that time it started from 1500s. That's the beginning of the Atlantic slave trade, because it does not start until when Christopher Columbus discovered the Americas in 1492, according to the European history.
Exactly, because it didn't really discover it because it was already there.
Yes. So it was the beginning of the Atlantic slave trade, because America was invaded by Europe.
Yeah.
And then they make plantations and they need cheap human labor.
Right.
So at first they enslaved the Red Indians, who were original natives of America, and because many Red Indians become victims to the tropical diseases.
Of course.
And then they make suggestions, and they suggested Africa, and Africa became the only source of forced slave labor for the countries of the Sahara.
Right.
So no one knows exactly how many slaves were taken from Africa, because there was no specific record, but according to the statistics, it was approximate to 180 million.
I think they do have records in Europe.
Yeah, but the records are not accurate.
Right.
Many people don't, but approximately, because the continent was drained. Yeah, it was approximate to 180 million.
Right.
Slaves were taken from Africa.
Okay.
And then these people who were captured, many died. Some did not even reach on the islands where they are kept, because they have various transits. So in the Gambia here, when they are captured, there is a small island in the middle of the river.
Right.
That's called Kunta Kinte Island. It's also known as the Voyage of No Return. So these captives will be kept on the island, and from the island they will ship them to Gore Island in Senegal, which will be the final shipment of West African, or will be the final collection point.
Right, the door of no
from there they will
return.
take the door of no return. So from there they will be shipped to the Americas, to the Middle East, to the and then also to the West Indies and the Caribbeans.
Like myself.
Absolutely. So during the shipment, many died. That's called the Middle Passage, because the conditions in the ships was horrible.
Yeah.
Because there were no toilet and washing facilities.
I know, we were treated like animals,
died
basically.
in their right numbers.
Yeah.
So it was approximate to more than 25 million enslaved people who died.
Very interesting.
Some died at the beginning of the enslavement process, even well before they are transported. Or some were captured far away, about 200-300 miles, and they have to endure forced marches just like that in canes.
Right, exactly. So we're going to go inside now?
We are going to go inside.
Right, okay.
So these are the stages of stages from slavery.
Yeah.
So in the Gambia here, about 5 powers were scrambling for slavery here.
Yes.
The Portuguese, the British, the French, and the Dutch
Right.
were scrambling for slavery in the Gambia. But in other parts of Africa, also you have other powers like the Spanish, the
Right.
Belgians, the Italians.
Yeah.
You know, and they were mainly interested to know to take the resources of every particular country they went to.
Yeah.
You know, so in the Gambia they found no resources, but they took slaves.
Right.
But in other parts they also took ivory, they took gold, you know, and they took a lot of other stuffs, you know, from Africa, and then they will introduce it to other parts of America or also in Europe
Right.
to manufacture them and bring them back to Africa to trade them.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the museum. This is where the collections are kept. You know. Yes, brother.
Hello, good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So the history here and that of Gore and that of Ghana, because Ghana is the biggest port.
Yeah.
So everything is connected.
Right.
You know, it's all concerned about West African slavery. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. So this is an artistic impression of the island we are going to see later.
Okay.
You know, it's at a state of ruins now. It's really
All right.
smaller because
Okay.
of the erosion. But it used to be bigger than this.
Okay.
So all the slaves or the captives will be brought to this island. No matter where you are captured from, as long as you are captured within the Gambia, you must be kept on this island
Right.
to be transported.
Okay. Oh.
So these are the materials like the shackles, you know, the torches.
Wow.
So these are the materials that goes against them. This is a shackle for the hands, and that's the branding mark. You know, they are also marked.
Yeah.
with
Like animals.
Yeah, like animals, like cattle. So that one is a decorated footlock and a whip. You know? So these are the materials they will use against them in order to control them.
Yeah.
Because some slaves were traded, but many were also kidnapped and raped.
Oh yeah, we know that. Yeah.
Because there was a time when the plantations were expanded to the West Indies and the Caribbean, there was a constant demand for more slaves
Right.
and plantation owners. So this time around, when the traders came, you know, they would just attack villages and people are forcibly captured.
Right. So what were these used for?
They use the guns for slaving expeditions. They also hunt, like what I am telling you.
Like animals.
You know, they would attack villages and they would hunt people. They would arrest them. So, you know, when they want to be aggressive, you know, they will set an example
Yeah.
to terrify the rest.
Right.
You know? So when one is shot or two is shot, then the rest will be calm.
Yeah.
So they will be able to control them. You know? Yeah. They also use the flints. You know? Yeah.
Sorry, I just want to help on this topic also.
Okay.
Like when you look at this thing, there are some explanation here. Like we, the Africans, were using these type of materials, like spears and bow and arrow, and cutlasses and so on. So with these things, you have to come in contact with the individual. But for them, they were using firearms.
Right.
You know, they were using superior weapons.
Right.
And then the other dimension for this case is, like they will bring this thing, corrupt our leaders with them, so that our leaders will start fighting tribal wars.
Right.
You know, tribal wars. That means one tribe will get up and go and raid another tribe. Like he is a Mandinka, I am a Manjago.
Right.
So a Mandinka will not enslave a Mandinka. A Manjago will not enslave a Manjago. So tribes were rising against each other. You know? So this explains, when you look at many countries in Africa, this explains why there is no trust in between most of the tribes in
Right.
Africa here. Yes.
Because they divide and rule.
Yeah, divide.
Like in Rwanda. You know, the problem in Rwanda was caused by the Belgians.
Yeah.
You know, because when they controlled the country at that time, you know, when they came at first, they found that the people that were in power, you know, they take the power from those people and give it to the other people,
Right.
other tribes. So
Okay.
that
Cause
became
confusion.
conflict, yeah. So that confusion was there.
Yeah.
Until it got to So Kunta Kinte was brought in Virginia, in the north south. You know, because in there they have a big tobacco farm, plantation.
Okay.
You know, but most people were brought to Caribbean. Most people were brought to Brazil. You know, in Bahia, you know, a lot of blacks they are brought because they have the largest sugar plantation.
Okay.
Yeah. But some went as far as Europe, in Bristol and Liverpool.
So you said many went to Brazil as well?
Yeah, of course. Many went to Brazil. You know, because they have the largest sugar plantation.
Right.
So at that time also, Senegambia was a region of its own within West Africa. That also includes Gambia and Senegal. So this region was separated during the colonial period.
Right.
So it also tried to show you the statistics within the Senegambia region during slavery. The annual export of slaves from this side, you know, you can see. You know, so Senegambia was also badly affected. You know, yeah, and normally they captured from let's say from 15 years to 25 years, you know, young people. That's what they need for the forced labor. And this also is another instrument. It's called a yoke.
Wow.
And the yoke will serve to restrain and limit your movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very heavy, you know.
I'm sorry also, like he's talking about the Senegambia region. That the Senegambia region covers the countries like Senegal and then the Gambia today. And when you look at the total population of people that have been enslaved during that period, like Senegal and the Gambia account for 6% of the number of people that we are transported to the New World.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Thank you.
And mostly slaves goes to South America. Because according to the statistics here, about 5 million went to South America from West Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, within the period of from 1650 to 1860.
Right.
Yeah. So this middle passage journey lasted for 2 months, 10 days.
Right.
Yeah, it's a very long journey, and it's a very horrific journey.
I can imagine.
And very barbaric. So many enslaved people died, and some were thrown alive overboard,
Right, yes.
into the ocean to minimize danger. So after a long voyage, they were put on top of the boat at a fine weather so that they can take fresh air. They also make them exercise to be physically fit. Yeah, so that they can sell them good price, a lot of money.
Right. So how do you feel about, you know, all of this, all the experiences?
Absolutely, it's these people for me, they are just mere unlucky people, you know. to be.
It's fine.
Absolutely, it's very sad.
Yeah.
It made me very sad. You know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we're very angry because we're at the tail end of it.
It made me angry too.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. You know, when I first started the job, you know, it took me almost 2 years before I become used to the system.
The history.
Every time like how I'm speaking with you, I cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, my tears are coming out.
Yeah.
So it made me so emotional.
Yeah.
You know, that I didn't want to talk about it. You know, but now I just make myself strong.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely. It's very emotional. And my people were around. My family was taken away.
Oh, yeah.
My family was taken away. So you see how they are packed on the decks? Just like submarine carton.
So that's why you should learn from it and not be so welcoming to strangers.
Yes, I know.
Like how I see it going on now.
You know, it still happens, but it's not going to happen in the same way like it happens before.
Yeah.
But it still happens, you know.
I know.
Yeah,
There's a lot of exploitation still going on.
Yeah, but in different forms.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, slavery is as old as human race.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah, because there was domestic slavery in Africa. You know, in our caste system there is slavery.
Right.
Yeah, but these are not hopeless victims. They are not just like the Atlantic slaves, you know.
Okay.
Atlantic slaves were not given, you know, we are not seen as human beings. But our slaves were having dignity.
Right.
They have rights to make choices.
Exactly.
You know? So they tried, the British were the first to take the role to abolish slavery. but it was not easy to abolish slavery.
So why do you think they wanted to abolish slavery?
Because I think one of the major factors that brought to the abolition was economic reason. You understand? Like when the industrial revolution came, when machines were invented, I think this brought to the abolition
Right.
of slavery. That was the time when people like Thomas Clarkson, William Wilberforce, Granville Sharp in the United States or in England brought the idea to the parliament for the abolition of slavery. Yeah. So this is how.
So it wasn't because they wanted to set people free; it was for their benefit. It wasn't because they wanted to set black people free; it was for their benefit.
It was all for their benefit because otherwise they would not even have asked for compensation after when they abolished it.
Yeah.
But the plantation owners.
Let me help you. Like what you said, he said he is right. Like it is because of an economic reason. Like when you look at the way that the slave trade was conducted, the slave trade was conducted within 3 hours. That is from Europe, Africa, then to America, then America back to Europe, completing the triangle. So what had happened is they realized that Africa has its potential. The land is fertile, and most of the things that they were getting from the New World can be found in Africa. So the economic reason there is why can we break one arm of the triangular tree, and then we are left with only one arm. That is from Africa back to Europe, or from America to Europe.
Yeah.
And then they take the raw materials from Africa, process them, take those other raw materials from the Americas and process them. This is one of the main reasons. But like when they told me, yes, true, like this man, Thomas Clarkson, for example, he is an abolitionist. But what had happened, despite when he was fighting for the abolition of slavery, he was keeping 3 slaves.
Yeah.
He was keeping 3 slaves. So this can really tell you that it is because of economic reasons
exactly.
they decided to.
For their benefit, Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes, but there was also a lot of revolution in Africa, and the various lot of slaves were also involved.
Well, have you heard of Nani? Have you heard of Nani of the Maroons?
Yeah, I heard of Nani.
In Jamaica.
In Jamaica.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to San Oluwatu from Haiti. You have Zengitel from Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
Yes, and you have A.J. Gustavus from Nigeria.
Yeah.
All these are slaves, that have their experience.
I think
like
it would be interesting
revolutionaries.
for you to sort of do research on Nani of the Maroons.
Yeah.
Because she was a freedom fighter in Jamaica.
Yeah, then his picture will be very important.
Yeah.
Because we want all those freedom fighters like abolitionists.
I could send you. I can send you a video of I do a YouTube channel, and the information about Nani and of the Maroons. She came from Ghana, and she was a freedom fighter. It's a very interesting story.
Just like Martin Luther King.
When you are ready, I will take your YouTube visit.
Exactly. Yeah. I could send you the link.
Also very important early West African slaves in the Americas with dignities, with lot of education, and they have contributed, immensely for the development of the New World in different form.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's this now?
This is Zengi Per. Sorry, this is Benjamin Banyaka.
Oh yeah.
And Benjamin Banyaka is said to be the first man to design the White House of America.
Right.
Yes. And Richard Piper was fighting for the British in Canada during the Civil War in America. He died without children, he died without a family. He left no family behind. Sad story for him. So you have Philip Wilkley, also because of his education, he became the first slave woman to write a poem. To write a book, that people can read, about his own experience or her own experience. Yes, and Alaji Omar also were spreading education, like they were spreading Islam or teaching Islam. So we have also the diasporas, that's the African Americans, the like of Martin Luther King, like of Du Bois, you have Ted Patmore, you have Marcus Garvey.
Yeah, well, if you have Marcus Garvey, you need to have Nani.
You need to have Nani.
Yeah.
But Mali.
Okay.
So there are many of them.
Right.
Who have stand for the emancipation of Africans. Yeah. Martin Luther King, and Reverend Jesse Jackson also. You have the like of Michael Johnson. You have the new generation.
Right.
The like of Oprah Winfrey. Like of Magic Johnson. The like of Condoleezza Rice. Yes.
Colonel Powell, is he there?
What?
Colonel Powell?
Colin Powell, yeah, I think he's Colin Powell. He died not long ago.
Yeah, but he looks different there.
Yeah, I think he's Colin Powell.
No, he looks different there. I'm not sure, maybe that's him when he's older.
Yeah, when he was older, yeah.
Yeah.
This is Alex Haley, the author of the book.
Yeah,
Roots.
I know, Roots. Yeah.
He wrote the Roots.
Yeah.
So if we finish here, we have to go to because we have to take a boat across. So just to make it a little bit faster.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I've seen, and they have Black Friday.
Yeah, yeah. So slaves were not protected.
Oh yeah.
There was no law protecting
It was
slaves.
exploitation.
Yeah. From Africa, from Europe to Africa to America and back to Europe. And
Right.
this commercial system, brought the foundation of British and French industries in the 18th and 19th centuries.
Okay.
Yeah. We have also the Arab slave trade across the Sahara Desert, to the Middle East and to the Far East.